Okay, let's continue. Let's see where this rabbit hole, which is not a hole and it's not for rabbits, leads. And we have 4 lines. As we get to the end of the game, the levels get simpler and simpler. I'm still missing 1 line, so I'm wondering what that is. I forgot the block. Yay, mija! You are there by yourself. Roundy has made Gravy fall and get out of our way. It's a bit sad, but it's necessary collateral damage. And this is the end. Finally, we got this star bit from 2 months ago. So continue. I wonder where it leaves me. Oh, right in the middle. And I've been thinking since last day. I've been thinking if I want to do now the challenges, I guess I can. So we are in area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are in area 5. We finished the normal levels, except this one, which is kind of weird because apparently it's the last one, but it's not like a level. And I think this leads to the credits. So before I wouldn't want to start the episode with the credits. Would be very weird. And the ending. So I prefer to go to the challenges and then keep going with the story. And maybe halfway there, or depending on difficulty, probably halfway there, we'll keep with the story. So let's go here and do these challenges. These are apparently the last challenges. In total, at some point in the game they said there were 30. They didn't say explicitly there are 30, but when you get to complete the number 15, they say you have completed 50%. So do the maths. So there are 10 more, which are these 9 plus the 1 remaining in area 1. So these are the remaining ones. Starting with Roundabout, let's see what this is. I don't remember the mechanics that are presented in area 5. So I don't know what to expect. Nearest. I remember now. Nearest was one of those. So, as it is tradition, this is the end. Crossing this bridge, activated by the scale, and through the lift, activated by this button. We can activate the button with 1 gravity. To activate the scale, we need a block, which is here. If gravity goes back, can't go back again. So we need to find out which one is the one that brings the block. And the commands are the same for both. They share programming. So because we need to go up, but we need to go up with the block. There's no point on going to the bottom, is it? Also, I'm wondering, since one of the 2 needs to bring the block, where do they tell them to leave the block? Like on top of the button? And then we pick it up and then they go to the bottom, but we need to rush because we need to go to the lift before they step on the bottom. And they start facing this way, like they're telling you they go this way. Yes, if they go back, both bridges are activated and then we can't get the block, so it needs to be counterclockwise the way they move. Yes, so this one doesn't have the block, and it needs to go counterclockwise around. So first it needs to go to the nearest button, store information as D1, nearest button, and then go to D1. Where you are, when you are at D1, look for your nearest, which is D2, nearest position, point of interest, and then go to D2, which is nearest point of interest. The thing is, if both do the same, this bridge won't allow this one to go through. Although Maybe we don't need the other one. So we need to lose it. Let's keep going. I'm not sure. And then you are here. You, the blue one, you are here. You are at D2, which is your nearest point of interest. And then you need to get the block, but the block is not in a position where I can tell you where it is. We're going to change everything, because I believe I have to get it. Mija has to get it. In which case, that means look for your nearest button, which is D1, and then wait for D1 to be active. I will be pressing the button, so you get me, you pick me up. It's not B, it's D1, which is not the same because it's different for each of them. And then you know this is your closest, you are waiting for your closest, so it's me to be active, step on the button, and then you pick me up and go to, need to go back? I believe you go to E. I mean, you need to go. It's drop at E. And then it continues. I move to, this button is, wait for A. Oh, you don't come here because this is D1. You are waiting for D1. You don't care about this one. You are waiting for me. I see. I think this is correct. Let me check. So they are waiting for D1. D1 is the button. Each their own. This is the closest to this one. Only, not this one. Okay, now we get the block. That's what we wanted. This is waiting, but you don't have to do anything else. And now I'm wondering what this does. Because it's going to drop me at E. That's what we need to change. Instead of dropping me to the other side, it's dropping me there, on the same side. So this is not drop at E. We need to store the information for the closest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and more. So D2 will be your nearest point of interest. You need to check that before you move, because if you move, the other one will be the closest. So this is not E, this is D2. And after that, someone needs to press this button. And someone else needs to press this button. Let's check this, how far it gets. We go to the other side. That's correct. We get the block. And we keep going to the opposite side. Now, two things need to happen. This needs to go here, and this needs to go here, for which we can do this. Check your nearest button again, and it will be D3. And then go to D3 at this position. When you have finished dropping at D2, check again for your closest button, which will be the new one. I'm still missing one line, so I'm wondering what that is. I forgot the block. Yay, mija! You are there by yourself. A disaster. I'm missing one line. Maybe I need to use another weight. Because I forgot the block, because the bot was going for a try. Before I check what I know it's going to happen, let me put another weight for after dropping at D2. I mean, you need to wait for A. This is better. Now I don't need to rush to get the block. Let's check it. Now, if I didn't have this wait for A, the bot will automatically be to the other button. And now we have plenty of time. This is the same for both. Now they are both waiting for me to step in here. But it's called different name. Now this is a problem. Should I call it something else instead of A? How is this taking shorter than this one to drop me here? Let's call it wait for D3, in which case this goes first, because before D3 meant nothing to you. See how this works? Now it's not A. It's whatever it is your button, which is different for each of them. Now you're waiting for me to step in here to come and press it yourself. Much better. Yay! First level. First challenge. Q. This level is very cute. Let's see what we have. We have 2 roundies. Protected by oil for some reason. By goo. Oh, the goo is not protecting the robot or the bot. What it's doing is avoiding that I block it. And we can't reach this button by ourselves. Neither by the robot, because roundies don't grab things. They just step onto things. So we can only give commands by this button. And they can go to somewhere and wait for something. Let's start by waiting for B. So when I step in here, something happens. Right. And then go to... I love this game. It's so simple. And it's challenging. How can we block one of them? Let's say they go to B, because at least I can block standing here. If after going to B, they go to A, what happens? So they're waiting for me to step in here, and then both will come. Only one gets here. Neither of them can perform the action they are given. The one on B wants to go to A, and the other one hasn't even arrived to B and tries to go to B. What if we don't block them? They'll just do it. Both will end up at B. I mean A. So we can wait for B and then go to B. Only one does that. And then wait for A to go to A. And then they won't do it because the one has been to B, tries to go... Oh no, is waiting for someone first to go to A. This doesn't work either. Let's check it. It's so simple but complex. No. This is waiting for A and we cannot step onto A. We cannot reach it. We can do it the other way. Let's both go to A. I mean, first needs to be wait for B because it's me, and then go to A. And then again wait for B. This way only one can perform. The other one will get trapped. Check it. They go to A, only one. Waiting for me. Does it mean I have to rush through the bridge? Because at some point the solution is correct. But no. Not completely correct. It is for sure that they need to wait for B. Because it's the only is the only one we can access, but not the only one they can access. Maybe they don't need to wait for me to activate B. They go to A. This is the same, but we are saving one line. So they both go to A, only one gets to A. And the one that gets to A is waiting for me to step onto B, and then goes to B. The other one goes to A and waits there until the first one gets to B. They can't be trapped. Actually, we can get one of them to break down onto B, but I'm not sure that's what we need to do. I don't seem to be able to go further with this combination because the one at A is already waiting and the other one takes longer and presses B and releases the weight from the one on the left, the second one. Maybe it's a double B and that only happens once. Maybe this is it. I can press B twice, but the other robot only does once, only steps onto B once. I believe I need to be faster. Do the same but faster. Yes. So this one gets trapped here. This robot presses B, but only does once. I did it twice. This is one solution. I'm not sure if you can make one breakdown here so it doesn't move. I don't think it's possible because this one here, I'll be here blocking one direction. The other one is here, but if it's stopped here, it's because it's trying to get to the bottom. So it will break down as well. If it goes the opposite way, then freeze this one. I don't think that's a solution. No, not at least not with this command. So I'll take it anyway. Don't misunderstand me. I'm happy with that solution. Crossing guard. Oh, here we have the orb that we can use to activate. So then these challenges are meant to be done after you finish the game. We have 3 lazy. I guess we can say we have 3 lazies, because in this case lazy is not an adjective, it's the name of the robot. So we have 3 lazies. To get to the end, we need to go up the lift, cross the long bridge, and go down the other lift. And then we are at the end. For the lift to go up, and I guess down, although it's not visibly connected, all 3 need to point up. This is very interesting. Very, very interesting. So you need to turn. Doesn't matter if you are not lasering at target. Keep turning and keep repeating until you are lasering. Once you are lasering, oh wait, but if the lift goes up, the bridge is on the electric side. Now we are up, but we can't cross. And there are 4 lines. What am I seeing? 4 lines only. Have you considered that you're asking too much? Maybe, just maybe. So there are 4 lines and there are 4 commands. We need to use all 4. Oh, we have the orb. What about this? Nah, they'll end up this way. They'll end up. Yeah, but we can't. I didn't realize about the orb. Godly orb. It gives us god powers. I'm happy with this. If you're not lasering a target, keep turning until you do. Which this is the same. You turn, and because you are not lasering a target, repeat and turn until you do. But the question is, where do you place the wait for? Let's try it here. Wait for the orb here. So now they turn. This one's out. This way all three will be out of the loop. We don't want them outside of the loop. What about this? They are always inside the loop, but they only wait for D if they are not lasering. This way they will never shoot the target. If they shoot the target, they turn. They don't desynchronize. Maybe it's the condition is if they are lasering the target, wait for the. This is better. They will end up shooting, and now they will turn away when I activate the orb. But I don't have enough time. This way I don't have enough time to cross. I believe now this is correct with the jump, but maybe the turn goes inside, before or after. So if you are lasering, wait. Otherwise, keep turning. This is the same as before. Now they are waiting for this, for me to activate the orb. And they will keep turning. It doesn't matter which way. I like this better. When they are not lasering the target, they... What do? They do nothing. They just keep on a loop. This is not good either. It's different, but now only one turn. The one lasering the target is the only one that turns. If you are not and then turn, now the only one that is not lasering the target is the orange, and is the one waiting for the orb. And then it turns one, and then it turns one. Now I don't have control over them. It needs to be a combination of commands where I can control them when they are shooting the target and when they are not. The only thing they can laser is the target, not Mija, so it's pretty simple. What we need to figure out the combination. The jump doesn't go inside the if because in this case they can get out of the loop, so we don't have control over them. Jump doesn't go inside. Now, do we want to make them turn if, or we want to make them turn if not. Actually, they can laser Mija if they shoot down, but it's pointless because we need to move. We need to move around. We have the orb. My problem in this level is that I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to achieve. I know I want to cross. We want them to laser the target. So if you are not lasering the target, and then keep turning until you do. Oh, but they need to wait. Oh, this is different. I thought I had tried this one. Now we need to confirm every turn. So they don't do the full turn by themselves. Now we need to confirm every time. Now they get synchronized. They are all three pointing up, but they don't turn now. It doesn't work. It doesn't work either. Because now they met the condition. I mean, they don't met the condition. What's happening with my eye? They never met this condition, so they never turn. This doesn't make sense that the if doesn't have anything inside. This is also different. If you are not lasering, but now when they are lasering, they'll skip and turn, so they will never laser the target. This is what we had before. What about this goes inside? If you are not, wait for me and turn. But when you are not doing anything. Now they won't do anything. Wait. So we need them to get synchronized. All three pointing up. Of course, if the jump doesn't go before, the condition is pointless. I like it and I hate it at the same time. The only thing I haven't tried is lasering Mija, which they can do. Maybe we can make them synchronize by lasering Mija. In which case, if not lasering Mija, we want to synchronize them from inner to outer. So orange first, then magenta, and then blue. From here to there, make them synchronize. If you are not lasering Mija, keep turning until you do. Let's see how this goes. Now they are all waiting. But this one will wait again, because it's lasering Mija. Now the problem is that they can't both. Oh, but I can. So they turn. Now this one is the one that doesn't turn. Now they point down. Now they are synchronized. But the turn is inside the condition. If not lasering Mija, turn. So they turn and they turn. But now they turn always. They always turn when I use the orb. Now they stop and wait for me. I knew there was something. And there was something we haven't done. Which is use Mija. With a keen eye for detail, one truth prevails. Nearest and farthest. And we don't have the orb. Okay, nearest and farthest. This is the end through the ramp and through the lift. Interesting, for the lift to go up, we need to remove both blocks. For them to remove the blocks, we need to press these buttons. Doesn't seem so difficult. We'll see. Nearest and farthest. But we only have nearest. Oh, so nearest is your nearest is this one, but I don't want to activate you when your nearest is activated. Let's say your nearest is D1. Your nearest button is D1. How do you tell them about the farthest? Wait for B. If your nearest is off, pick up at C. And I am talking about the one on the left, this one. So wait for B. Both wait for B. But once B is activated, they check if their closest is off. For this one, the condition is not met, so it does nothing. But for this one, the closest is off. That means me being on B, this can go and pick up at C. Now, how can we do the same for the other one? Because we need two commands. Wait for A and pick up at D. And we don't need them to drop, or we don't need them to go. We just need them to pick up. It's only about the button. So this is correct, but I'm missing this one, which is when A. But I need to press A, which would be wait for A and then go to. But I'm missing one line. I need one more. This thing works for the opposite one. Now you can stay there. Now I need this one to move. Because if I use the if, and we cannot make the same bot pick up both blocks. It only picks up one. I mean, it's not meant to be easy, so I feel less bad. So only pick up once. If I tell them to go to the opposite, which is A, what do they do? Nothing. And where can they go? Nowhere. They can go nowhere. If D1 is off and then move, pick up at C. And there's only one. That's what is more annoying, that there's only one left to use. What can you do only with one? If this weight is inside, it applies to both. They both will move. Only one goes through. It has to do with the farthest. They move when the farthest, but it's not this way. If D1 is off, it's off for both. Wait for something. Let's say, doesn't matter, A. I just want the structure. And then if, so when, this if is like a when D1 is on, pick up at C. This is different, but it's also wrong, but let me check because I just put A to put something. If I press B, nothing happens. They are both waiting for A because both have their starting closest nearest button off, So they both get stuck into wait for A. And then if or when they move the opposite. If it's off, this is the same we had before. If D1 is off, maybe we need to do this twice. If D1 is off, no, but they don't wait. They just go straight to the end. And it can only be the nearest. There's not the farthest. If your closest is off, I like the other one better. Wait for... it was B before, but doesn't matter. If wait for A. It's not wait for A, wait for D1. If D1 is off and then you move. When D1 is off, of course, but D1 is your closest, so you will not do anything. What about inside the condition? Because they'll both be off, they both go through this. Wait for your closest. It only works like this. Wait for D1. Let's try this one. It has to end with pick up at C. That's for sure. What is this? This is your nearest. You wait for me to press the nearest, and then you get inside here because the nearest is on. If your nearest is on, you then pick up at D1. What is this? Wait for A. Let's do one. Wait for D1, which is this one. For you, it's this one. And then, what do you do if I'm pressing this? Nothing. You wait for A. When I press A, then you can go and pick up at C. This works for the blue one. What happens to you when I press this one and then I let this one go? You get inside here and then you're waiting for A again. It doesn't work for you. So you get it. The blue one is inside the condition. When I press, this is A. When I press A, I can let this one go, which is the blue, so waiting for A. At the same time, I'm letting the other one get inside the condition. But in this case, it's waiting for A. It will only move when I press A, which is not the one that lets him go. This doesn't matter if it's inside or outside, I believe. Wait for D1. D1 is active. And then wait for A, which is the opposite. Now, you who were waiting for D1 as well, now you are inside here. You're waiting for A. It's the same. And what do we have if D1 is off? This avoids, or we can skip this D1. Wait for D1. If D1 is off, which is always, doesn't make much sense because it's always. It's like we can remove it. If D1 is off, it's always, so they get stuck here. We can't reach one before they get into the command. I would like to try without the wait. and if D1 is on, I'll press 1. Let's say I press B. If you're closest, but you need to wait for something. Otherwise, it's like this. Wait for A. If D1 is on, I was looking at the blue. Wait. I'll go and press B. Wait for B. If D1 is on, which is you get inside here, which is wait for A. Otherwise, you pick up at C. I think this is it. You go, and then you are waiting for me to press A. And I need to go to the lift, don't forget. This is it. This was it. It is what it is, until it was what it was. Restricted. We go halfway there. And we've done the easy ones. Don't have to say anything else. This is the end. Through the bridge and through the ladder. So we only need to activate the bridge, which is activated by the feeders. So there are 4 in each side. 1 in the scale, 3 in the feeder. What do they do? Oh, we can't remove this one. So this one can't remove this one. This one can. Maybe we control them by taking this block here and putting it into the feeder. Like wait for E. Wait for E to do this. Your nearest point of interest is D1. Pick up at D1. Drop at, I believe it's, I'll try at least, drop at F straight away. But before, if A, oh, it applies to both. We were doing so well. B is always powered. So what I can do is, oh, that's the distinction. That's the distinction. Your nearest scale, great path, I call them scale. So pick up at your closest point of interest and then check for your closest scale. If D1, D2, your closest scale is on, drop at F. Otherwise, drop at A. Yes, A. And then repeat. They need to repeat this. And that's 8 lines. So I take this from here. And then they are waiting for E. I put it on D and they will go and pick it up. And let's see where they drop it. Oh, they drop it in the correct place. But this is... So this is not drop at A, it's drop at nearest scale is D2. If D2 is on, you drop at the hopper. And then you try to drop at D2. That's the only bit is not working. Now you, the magenta is waiting for E, so has completed the whole cycle. And this is trying to drop at D2, or did drop at D2. Why is not back again? Let me check the blue one. I'm focusing on the blue one. Pick up, drop. Oh, it was inside the condition, and then when it has completed dropping at F, is asked to drop at D2. D2 for the robot is the scale. We cannot skip this. We cannot skip drop at D2. The jump needs to include, because this is where each of them is dropping at. If your closest scale is on, do this, otherwise do that. This is the separation. You both perform differently. You don't need to wait for me again. D1 is your nearest, but you do need to pick up from here again. You don't need to wait. Maybe I can skip this and put another if, in which if D2, which is your nearest scale, is off, which will be for the one on the left, the magenta, and then you drop that block that you have in there. For that, I need to be super fast. Wait, what if I don't pick up the block and then both have their scales now, because one drops at a feeder and the other one drops at a scale. But I can use the if with A. If A is on, drop at A. Let's change A for D2, but it's the same as this one, and they need to be different. In this case, I need them to wait for me to pick up the block. Pick up the block and drop it at E, so it's like wait for E, the feeder. This way I need one more line, and this would be drop at D2. I go quick, but still doesn't try. Drop at F, because yours is on. It needs to be off. Yes. It tries to go to F as well. So I need to make them different. So I need to get the magenta inside this condition. It's more clear like this. D1 is your nearest, D2 is your closest scale. That's the only thing is different. This one can be deactivated. So you start by picking up from D1. The only thing is different is D2. D1 doesn't change. If D1 is on and if D2 is on and D2 is off. If it's on, which is this one, is always on, you drop at F. And they need to repeat, so we can't save the jump to the beginning. If D2 is off, drop at D2. There's no need to call F D3. Although, if your nearest hopper, D3 is your nearest hopper, can we make a distinction by your hopper? So you pick up at D1, D2 is always on, so you drop at F. That's for you. You work, because I don't have to do anything with you. The blue one. Now we have one more line for this one. They need to wait for me to take the block, and then they are different. Wait for E, but then this is not dropping anywhere. Then I don't need to say this is 3. Wait for E, pick up at D1. If D2 is on, otherwise wait. This is not doing anything again. It's not doing anything with the block. If D2 is on, I'm pretty sure this is on, not off. Let's try the other way. So we are looking at the magenta. Pick up at D1 if D2 is off, which will be. Drop at E, and then you are the one that's not working. We can tell you to drop at F, but this one will try to drop at F2. Drop at E, not drop at E, it's A. Now this tries to drop at F, which is on the opposite side. I don't feel like there is a trick in this level. I don't feel like in the previous one, like lasering Mija, for example. If this goes in here, you will go to F. You don't have anything to drop. Just wanted to check. I don't like from the if forward, because it's true for the one that skips the if, but the one that gets into the if, which is the magenta in this case, will do both, and this doesn't make sense. And I'm using the wait, the if, the nearest, the jump. It could be wait for A. Wait for A. And now you do. I just wanted to point it out that there is a possibility. But it's not different. You still try to go to F. Wait for A, pick up a D1. If D2 is off, can we have the action, the 3 blocks to be performed by one and then the other one instead of both at the same time? Crazy idea, but what if you wait for A, and then if D2 is off, it needs to be a different one. Pick up a D1, drop at A. This needs to be on because if it applies to this one later, it has to be when this is on. pick up a D1 and drop. In this case is F, and the other one has one line. It's clear we need to tell you D1. In D2, we are using D2 here. Wait for A, and then if D2 is on, pick up a D1, drop at F. You are stuck at drop at F, and you are stuck at A. You do the action every time I let you go through with A. Drop at F. If it's off, you both wait for A and pick up at D1. If it's off, you drop at A. This is what we had before. Now you need to drop at F. You wait for A. You already picked up at D1. D2 is on, so you skip. Maybe you only wait on the first one, but then the subsequent will be on, so it doesn't repeat exactly. Nothing comes to mind. Nearest, if power, if D2 is off, drop at A, and you wait for A. I'll pass. Leave level. See if I unlock myself with the next one, because I'm going nowhere. And this is even simpler. Makes me more scared. This is the answer to this ramp, so we need to bring the lift down. For that we need to not laser this target. And we have 4 lines. As we get to the end of the game, the levels get simpler and simpler. So we need to use the lift, but the lift is busy with a gel, but we can remove the gel. So if you are not lasering a target, turn clockwise, and then the gel melts. Wait for the orb to turn. Doesn't matter which way. The thing is that we need to jump back. So we have 4 lines, we have 4 commands. This is easier, I believe. So we are repeating the turn. That makes me think that we need to remove 1 turn. And then we need to jump. Now we need, same as before, we need to put them in order. If you are not lasering the target, wait for me to tell you. Now we need this. Wait for the orb. We need it outside. Here or here, I don't think it's relevant, because we don't need to do something special at the beginning. So here is okay. Actually, I'll leave it here, so I don't need to act once we are in the level. So this way we can control this one. You're not lasering a target, so you shoot the gel and remove it. But we are not affecting this one. It needs to be something that both share. A condition both share at all times. Like, I believe, I haven't tried, but I believe Mija cannot stand on the leaf because has the hands busy, cannot grab the gel. Okay, but check, make sure. So we are good. We are good. Every time I use the orb, you go back to the beginning, and then you turn So I believe the key of this level is figuring out lasering or not lasering something. It cannot be the aerogel. If you are lasering the aerogel, none of them is, so they don't turn. And it's the same, we need to put them in sync. So we need to make this one shoot down, or this one left. I mean right. If this one moves, this one cannot melt the gel. So it doesn't turn. The turn goes inside here. If you are lasering a target, you wait. Otherwise you turn. But you keep turning. So what if you need to wait for me? Maybe they don't repeat from the beginning, you just check once. If you are lasering a target, you wait. So if you are not lasering a target, you turn once. Now you both get in sync, and now you're waiting for me, but you are not checking again. This was easier. This was easier. I'll leave these ones then. I would like them to leave this screen, and at least we see the ending, the credits. So this is the situation we left it last day regarding story. This is outside the challenges, so maybe here we learn something we need to apply on the other level. Here we have a Roundy and a Grabby. Here, Roundy has 4 lines, Grabby has 7. What do we need to do? We need to end up here. So we need to cross this and this to cross. So the only barrier is the electric bridge, for which we need to stop the target. So we need to make Roundy, who's the only one who can reach here, make him go through this bridge and then jump and move. Okay. So you wait for B to go to the air bump. Grabby goes to B without waiting for me, isn't it? And then wait for the orb to go to A. And Roundy waits for A to go to E. I'm missing something. Oh, because this is a breakable bridge. So before you go to B, I see you are dropping me because you have me in your hands. That's why you have 7 lines. So you wait for the orb until I am here, and you pick up me from D and drop me at B, so you don't need to go to B. And then you wait for me to snap the orb to pick me up again. Actually, you don't need to drop me, you need to go. Actually, you pick me up, you keep me. Go to B, wait, go to A, and then you wait again for the orb to go to... no, to drop me. This time is drop me at C. So, again, the plan is I get here, snap the orb, Grabby goes to the button, gives way to Roundy. Roundy and Grabby are both waiting for me to snap the orb. I mean, only Grabby. Roundy is waiting for Grabby to press the button. So I snap the orb and Gravy moves to the other button and activates Roundy to go to block the laser. Now we can both go here. Gravy is again waiting for me to snap the orb and drop me at the end. So much different these levels from the challenges. This could be the last. With the rogue brain. Sounds magnificent and malevolent. We have a Roundy from the dispenser. What was the name of this dispenser? Creator. And also it's a rogue, so every time I snap the orb, it's already programmed. Every time I snap the orb, spawns a Roundy and tries to do again, but waits. Okay, and does that 2 times. So Roundy, wait, what do we need to do? We go up from the lift when this button is pressed, but we can reach this one. So you go to C. And we have the orb, but we don't use the orb. We don't have the wait for. It's only programmed on the spawner. Roundy goes to C. If A is powered, then you go to B. But we need to be here. Oh, you go to A. You go to A first. We can go to A. We can go to A. But Roundy can go to A as well. Go to A. If A is on, which will be for the second one, and then if A is off, you go to A. Oh, we have 3 lines only. And then let me start clean. If A is off, you go to the airbomb, and then I jump you, isn't it? But then I'm missing one again. So you go without checking. Go to C. I'm confused. Let me try just once. Go to C. If A, so one Roundy needs to be here and the other one here. First one goes here, but cannot go back. If A, no, the second one goes to A. What is this? Now you fall. So we need to use the if. If A is on, you go to C. And then you need to end up going to B. So now A is on. If I snap the orb, you go here. And then you go to B. But I need to jump you. But I don't go back to the lift as fast as you. So if A is off, you go to A. Otherwise, you go to C, but it needs to be the other way. And if Roundy has to step onto the last button, B, I mean, I don't understand this either. Roundy has 3 lines. Go to A, go to C, and go to B. I don't think we'll watch the credits either today. So we can give conditions depending on A, but that's using 1 line. So let's say no one goes to A. If one... No, they need to go to A. Go to C, go to B. What if I tell them to go to B? What do they do? That's what you do if I tell you to go to B. Interesting. If I activate the bridge, what do you do if I tell you to go to B? Same. If A is off, go to B. You don't take the other... You don't go the other way. Wait, if you jump onto B or outside of B? The perspective, I'm never sure. So go to C. Just go to C. Let's see where you land. You land on top of B. You don't need to go to B. That's something. Makes it easier. So this is higher level than this one, of course, because that's why the lift is. It's hard to see. I thought you were landing in one of these two. That changes. That changes. That changes. So if A is off, you go to C. And then I need to step onto... No, it's the opposite. If A is on, you go to C because I'll be here and you go here. And then I move. Then A will be off. So that means otherwise you go to A. That's it. I'm pretty sure. Now you go to the air bump. Lucky I was pretty sure this was going to work. If A is... So it's... If the condition is second, both perform the same action. That's not good. If the condition is first, one does one action, which is the second one. It applies to both. The other one does both. Meet the condition and the second one. First one needs to go to C. If A is off. This way works. So the second one, the one that goes to C only goes to C. This is the order. You go to C. So what this condition is saying, you need to skip it. Currently it says if A is on, so it needs to be off at the beginning. Now it's off, you only go to C. The problem with this one is that the second one needs to be on. For the second round to go to the button needs to be on. And this distance is much shorter than this distance. This is not the solution because it relies on fast action. It's only dependent on A. A is the only one that changes, so In this case, for the first one to do only one action, A has to be on. Now that is on, we'll skip the first and we'll do the second action, which is go to the airbound. And now the second one needs to come to A when it is off, which allows me to step on the lift. Why was this so hard for me? Hey, it's not the end. There are more. I wonder how many. We could make another episode, I believe. Where is the end? This is the end. Through this bridge and jumping with the airpad. But the airpad has a solid block that we need to remove. We can remove it by activating the air bump, the jumping pad. For that we need to activate this target with this laser. So we need the laser to turn, wait for the orb and... oh, wrong robot. You start by turning counterclockwise and then you wait for the orb. I'll tell you when to move. Oh, we need... so you start by waiting. We don't need to remove the block from here. We need gravity to get it. So you start by turning clockwise. You need to shoot the wall. And then you give way to gravity. Gravity goes to... no. Picks up from B and drops at the scale, which is A, and I believe that's it. But you have 4 lines, so maybe not. In any case, let's try. You who are shooting the wall, wait for F and then turn twice, but I'm missing 1 line. So something has to change here. Now I step in here. You go twice from there. I'm missing the laser, but the one that I have more lines with is gravity. So gravity can have more lines. Clockwise twice and then wait and 1 more because we need the block. So gravity needs to get the block before the laser turns down, but it needs to turn not down, so it turns up and wait for us. How do we jump then? Laser needs to move and flip the bridge, so gravity can go pick up at B and drop at A. Let me check, but if you turn counterclockwise, we lose the block. So you need to start by turning once or twice. And you cannot repeat, so you can only wait. Wait for... doesn't really matter much. Wait for me. At least I have the control. What else is there? What I can do is you wait and then you turn counterclockwise, I can be in the middle, so I am protecting the block doesn't jump. So you wait for me, and when I'm in position, you turn. And you also wait for me. Yes, wait for the orb. Pick up at B and wait again. That's why you have 4 lines. Then when I tell you, you go to A. And you, the last 2, wait for F and turn. Yes. Here. And then wait again for me to tell you to turn. Counter once more. So first I need to be here in position. I'm protecting the block. Both are waiting for me. Now the laser can shoot the target. The block is safe. Now I get out of the way. Actually, I step onto the air bump. Now I need gravity to cross the laser. So you, the laser, don't wait for my orb, you wait for the crate path. Much better. The block is safe. I step onto the cushion. Now with my orb, only gravity moves. Crosses the laser, activates the air bump. And the crate on the scale activates the laser, shooting the last target. And this keeps going, so I'll leave it here. Yesterday I got stuck on one level I couldn't finish, so I skipped it. I wasn't happy, so I went back and I kept trying that infamous level to see if I could come up with a solution. And I came up with a solution. The coding is done. I'll redo it again. So I'll show you, and I'll go through, you know me. I'll go through the process and I'll explain the solution. But the bottom line is that I'm not very happy with the solution. So I got to the solution, but it doesn't make sense. It's not something that the game has led me to previously. It's not something that the game has taught me before. It's something contrary to that. So the game gives you some rules and tells you you can use this command to do this, you can do this other command to do another thing. And this solution is not that. Of course, if without cheating, if you can come up with that solution for that level this way, it's because it's possible. But it's unintuitive, and that's what I don't like it. I don't like the solution, or I don't like the level. It's very simple and it's challenging, and it made me realize there are other ways of doing things. So that's good, but unlike other levels where I've struggled to find out with what the game has showed me, come up with a solution. Not come up with a solution with something that I haven't seen before, and the game hasn't showed me I can do that. So let me show you, and then we can further talk about this. Let me go to the game. Okay, we finish here in regards of the story part. Apparently we need to end up here, but if we continue, I don't know when, because this keeps going, we'll see the credits. So we'll do the same as yesterday. We'll do some challenges first, and then we'll keep playing the story or the main levels. So I'll press tab and we go to the challenges for the last area. Challenges, and then I skip this one, restricted. Let me come to this. Let me go back to this one, which is the one we couldn't finish yesterday. So if I go to the computer, you'll see the solution. I have the general idea, but for the sake of entertainment, let me skip. I won't look at the solution. Let me remove it, so I have to come up with it again. Let's see if I can manage. So I used 8 lines, but I used 2 ifs. Let me put whatever. If A is on, doesn't matter. And if B is on, doesn't matter. The point is of having 2 ifs. And I'll explain why I don't like this level in particular. It's not going to ruin the game, don't get me wrong. And what I don't like is not the level, but the way the solution. If I had 9 lines, the solution would be less restricted and I would have come up with the way the game has been so far. The game has told us that when two robots of the same kind, they share code. So you need to find the difference in between them so you can split them. So when at the time of following a command, because you are comparing your situation with something that is different to each of the robots, they behave differently. That's what the game has showed us or told us. That is not how this level works. And I just tried these 2 ifs just because I tried so many things that in the end I had to stumble upon the solution. So first you start with 2 ifs and you need a jump because they need to repeat. So because they need to bring all these crates to the hopper or to the scale. It's not a scale, it's a crate pad, but I call it scale because it's what it looks like to me. They need to repeat the action. So this is basic. Now the difference is apart from the exact command, which is just a placeholder here, you need to fill this with commands inside, and we have 5. We can use 5 more. So first of all, we're going to tell both to pick up from their nearest point of interest. In the game, it's called position. So you could tell them pick up at D or pick up at C, but because C and D is not reachable by both, and there is a common thing for both, which is position. C and D are different things, but at the same time they share the property of being a position. So what we can do is tell them, get the box from your nearest position. We do this and the game has said how to do that. You can tell them to the bots to store the information as D1 or Delta 1, whatever you want to call it. So D1 from now on, it will be your nearest point of interest. At the beginning of the commands, what you do is store this information so you can retrieve it later. So for each of them, again, forget about this. This is a placeholder. For each of them, you tell them to pick up the crate from D1. Not in each of the conditions, because it applies to both, so you don't need to tell them twice. And then we still have 3 remaining. Then you are supposed to, because you can reach the crate pad A, and you can reach the hopper, I think it's E. You can reach these 2. The game kinda is saying that you need to give them commands as in previous levels by interacting what you can reach. You can reach A and we said E. You can reach A and E. So you give them commands by interacting with these 2 elements. Either A is off, we lift the box, A is off, or by placing the box back onto A, so A is on, or by leaving the box, putting the box in the hopper. So this is what we've been doing before, nothing strange. On top of that, you have these barriers that don't allow you to reach B and D. I believe it's F. B and F. So it's further proving or further telling the player that you need to come to this side. forget about this. And that's why I was struggling yesterday, because I was trying and trying to interact with these elements. It's nothing. The solution is nothing to do with these two elements. I mean, a little, but so we need to make the difference. Still, A and B will be different. So let's say the first condition applies to the robot on the left, which is the magenta, and the difference between them is the scale. So if your scale is, which is called A, is off, you'll do what's inside the if. And then for the robot on the right, the blue one, we use the second if. So if your scale create path is on, you do differently, and the content inside will be different. How different? For the one on the left, the magenta, the first if, you will drop your box at the create path A. And for the second robot, the blue one, second condition, you will drop your box at hopper F. This is what should make sense so far. You check your scale, and if it's on or off, you act differently. We still have one line, and that line is for the wait. If the game gives you the wait command, as it gives you the if and the nearest, if it gives you these commands, it's because you need to use them. It doesn't happen with the green ones. You can use 1, 2, 3, at least one of them. That's why they are there. But if the game gives you some commands, it's because you need to use them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. For the wait, you need to use it. And what's the reason? When you start the level, they start, let's say there is no wait. So the first thing they do is pick up the box from D1, and then they check immediately. It's very fast. It is so fast that it doesn't allow Mija to get to A and lift the box from the scale. So Mija is not allowed to make the difference between the two scales A and B. At the start of the level, they are both on, so they are both the same. So the robots cannot behave differently. So we need to use one wait, at least the start, I believe. Don't remember if it's before or after the jump, but it's an easy thing to change. And we'll tell the robots to wait for Mija to get the box from A and drop it on E. When Mija drops the box in E, inside E, they can start performing the commands that we are laying here. Now we are using 8 out of 8 lines. This is the problem. It will not work because both robots are checking the conditions. This doesn't mean that each one checks their closest scale. They both are checking both scales. So, for example, the robot on the left will check if A is off, which will be, and then we'll drop the box at A. Problem is that it will not skip the second. It will also check if B is on, and B will be on because it's also always on, because nobody can change the condition, the state in which B is. So robot on the left, the magenta, will also try to perform the command for the second robot. It will also try to drop nothing because it hasn't picked up any other box, and will try to go to F. Let's check it. So first thing is we lift this box and we leave it here, and then we start the chain of commands. Here you will see the blue one. I mean it applies to both, but we were talking about the magenta. Magenta tries to perform the action for the robot on the right, the blue one, and it's not able because cannot reach F. The same way, blue one is trying to perform the action for the other robot from the magenta with the first condition, and it can't either. So this was the issue yesterday. Maybe we can use instead of saying A and B, we can say your closest scale. Let's try. For that, we need to add one more. We cannot say here D2. D2, we can call D2 the nearest scale for each of the robots. But we cannot do that because we don't have space. This is the problem we were encountering yesterday. We need 9 lines to be able to do that. So we need to remove something. Let's remove the E, for example. Let's say we don't need to wait in the beginning. So now we are allowed to store the information as the information for your nearest scale as D2. So D2 now will be your nearest scale, which is great pad in the game. And now we can say here, A, instead of acting according to A or B, which are set things, let's check D2, which is not the same for both. A is the same for both, B is the same for both, but D2 is not the same for both. For each of them is something different. For this robot, D2 is A, for this robot, D2 is B. And now this should be okay, aside from the thing that we are missing, the weight. The problem is the same. We are going back to the beginning. At the start of the level, A is on. So they both will perform this action, not this one, because A is not off. And here it comes my issue with this level. If you have a way to store the information, it's because you want to make a distinction, because D2 is different for both. And this is what the game has told us, at least the way I understood. To get to the correct solution is, let me see if I can remember. For the robot on the left, the if condition is, I need some remembering here, and maybe I need to try. If I don't remember wrong, is if it's still, I came up with it yesterday and still it's hard to get to it. So imagine, it further proves to me that it's a problem because it's not intuitive. It's not something you easily can come up with. If D2 is on, which is at the start of the level, drop at A. And if E is on, drop at F. I don't think it's this specifically. I have to make some tweaks. I have to tweak a little bit the solution. It's not this one. I'm missing something. But the point is, we are storing the information for D2 to make a distinction for both of the robots in regards to their closest scale. But in the solution, you are not using this information to make a distinction for the robots. You are only using it for one. And it's possible. It will be proof that it's possible because I'll show you the solution now. But this is not something the game has showed us we can do. You can do it here because you have to, because there's no other option, there's no other solution. But using D2 this way is not what we've been doing during the normal game. Game hasn't showed us this. So what's the point of storing the information for a purpose and then not using it for that purpose? It's like peeling a banana with a hammer. Can you do it? Yes, you can do it, but makes sense? No, it's silly. This is similar, if not the same, but you're using a command which is store the information of the nearest X whatever for this purpose, but you're using it for another purpose. It's only used for this robot, not for this one. You're peeling a banana with a hammer. You can do it, yes. No one will deny that. Does it make sense? Is it logical? Does ever anyone do it? No. Let me show you now the solution. This will not work because this is on. Or maybe it works. If D2 is on, this is locked, which is the blue one. It wasn't D2 on, it was off. What am I missing? I'm missing the weight. It would work if the weight was here, as was happening yesterday. But the thing is, as far as I can remember, one robot does the actions first and then gets locked because cannot keep doing them, and then the other one does. So if D2 is off, this robot will never perform this action because its scale is always on, so it will try to do this. So it's always checking. Now once I lift this, D2 for this one will be off, D2 for this one still be on. So the blue one keeps checking and is unable to perform the action because the closest scale is not off and E is still off as well. Once A, this scale in front of me is off, only one of them, for only one of the two robots, D2 will be off, which is the robot on the left, the magenta. And same. Now, we have done the actions for one of them, which is something that I tried to do yesterday, didn't succeed, yes. But now, both are on, so this first condition has been completed by one of the robots and is no longer valid for the other one. The second robot, now we don't look at the one on the left, the second robot, the one on the right, is still pending to perform their actions, which is the second condition, and will only be able to do that when E is on. For that we need to fill it with the 3 boxes. And when E is on, the blue robot will finish their task, and we don't care about the magenta. If the magenta breaks down, it doesn't affect the solution. Now, magenta breaks down, and the blue one performs the desired action, which is pick up boxes from your closest point of interest and drop them. Now that E is on, drop them at F. So this is the solution. At least it's one of them if there are more than one, but this is the solution. The game also has showed us that if we are given some commands, it's because we need to use them. But as you can see now, we are not using the wait for, we are sacrificing the yellow command that says wait for something. And then, what's the point of having it? Up until now, the game has given us always all the commands that we need to use, and only those. What is the point here of giving us the wait for if we don't need to use it? It only confuses the player. It seems very intuitive, which is opposite to what the game tries to accomplish, which is be intuitive and lead the player to the solution. It's very intuitive that you use the wait for at the beginning, so you have time to make both scales A and B different to each other, so the robots can behave different compared to their closest scale. Why give the wait for command to the player here? You are leading the player into a sensible path that leads nowhere. It makes sense that you use the wait for, but you're leading the player to a dead end, so you are misleading. That's the end point. Let me get the star bit, and I want to check something else. I want to check. This is the same level. Now that we know the solution, it's this one, which is the opposite of everything we've been doing. We are not using all commands we are given. We are not using the wait for. We are using the nearest, but not to make a distinction, but we are using it partly, and instead of both robots comparing to the same condition, they are comparing to different things. One is to the closest scale, the other one is just the hopper. I wanted to check this. I'm curious if I use the hint system, what will it tell me? Because maybe there's another solution that will override everything that I've said, and it uses all commands, and I am completely wrong, and I'll take it. So I'm curious too. Hints will delete code. Code order? I'm good is go back. Okay. So give me the code order. This is a different solution. So the game has two solutions. The level has two solutions. I don't know the specifics. Maybe we can try to find out which or code order, but it doesn't give you the full solution. Get a hints will delete code order. Yes, this is the order, but we had two types of hints before, like the commands that we are using or the order, and this is one of them. This is just the order. Let's try to find out this, and see if now I want to know. This is like the B side of the level, and in here you are using pickup, drop at, the wait for, the nearest, and the if power. This can be D1, and let's keep the naming convention from before. So D1 is the position, and D2 is the crate path. It's not a given that these are correct, but this is just generic. Now wait for something. We can only interact with A and E. Let's start with E, because A could mean that we have to place the box back, so we need to like be quick in some cases. If now let's say we lift the box, if D2 is off, you change your nearest. This applies, I believe, to this one. This applies to this one. If D2 is on, D2 is not the scale. D2 is the hopper. And then pick up at D1, drop at D2. This makes sense. I'm happy that I went back. This way I can prove two things. That I didn't look up the solution, because this is not the solution that I came up with. I just found it myself, so I don't have to rely on you believing me. And the second one is the level has two solutions, and this one makes sense. The one I came up with, it doesn't make sense, because it's using the commands. It's using less commands that you are given, and you are using the commands in a way that is not how the game has showed us. That's why I didn't like it. I like this solution. This obviously is the correct solution. So you state D1 and D2. You put this, you put the wait for to make the distinction as we were saying, and then when the distinction is made, you change your consideration. For the blue one, D2 is no longer the scale. D2 is the hopper, and then both can do very simple task. Maybe I didn't come up with this solution, it's just a guessing. Maybe I didn't come up with this combination, the nearest inside an if, because you cannot put an if inside an if, and I was thinking, and I say again, this is just guessing. Who knows what my consciousness thinks of. Maybe I was thinking that you cannot put a white command inside another white command. So you cannot combine those, because you cannot combine two ifs. It's just maybe. I'm happy that I went back, and I'm happy that I found out about this solution. Now this is something we haven't seen before, but the game hasn't showed us this. Kind of hinting, or we could apply in common sense or intuition, or yeah, it makes sense. We could use this combination. For some reason I didn't realize, and now that I've seen this, If it's used again, now we know, now we've learned. Okay, we can move on. Enough of this level, this infamous level. Now I'm less angry with it, but still not completely satisfied. Nah, that's just joking. I'm happy this is the solution, the official. Oh, this one spare. And you only change the D2 once. You don't have to recheck this condition, is only once. Two solutions for the same level. So I'm happy that I went back and checked for the correct solution. Maybe if we do that in other levels, maybe we find out that our solutions weren't the correct official ones. Let's keep doing these challenges. See what new ways of commanding these bots there are. Here we have the orb. The orb. Staggered lifts. And we have 2 roundies. Okay, this is the end by this lift, operated by this button, activated by roundie. Roundie needs to cross a bridge, controlled by the switch. Once we are here, we get to this level by this lift, which is the same, but this button, this bridge, and this roundie, and this switch. Very simple, very clear. That's what I love of this game. It's very simple but challenging. So first we need to go here to the lift, and roundie needs to come here once we are here. So we activate the switch so roundie can cross. You wait for the switch C, and then go to your closest, your nearest button. You go to D1, but you don't go when I press this button. You go when I snap the orb. So you don't wait for C, you wait for the orb. I flip the switch, go to the lift, and snap the orb. But this applies to both. So if your nearest, not this command, oh, we don't have if. For some reason I was counting with it, so you cannot compare. You cannot compare. So how do you have 6 lines. We need the nearest switch, and then you wait for your nearest switch. But if we activate the first one, let's call it the one on the left the first, and this is the second, because the order in which they will be acting. If we activate only the first switch and run to the left, who will activate this other switch? Go to A or B. They can only go to one place. Wait for the 2 and then wait for the orb. But both need to be activated. Is there anything else? No. So the closest is only the nearest. I don't know why I say the closest. It can only be this, so it needs to be another wait for something else. Let's put a placeholder as another orb. If we do this, and if we do this, and then we flip the switch for one of them and snap the orb, now both are waiting for the switch, but only one will have it flipped when they are waiting for it. This is already flipped. It will never move. It will never continue. Now the blue one has gone to the following command because has already had the switch flipped, this one will never move. So this combination doesn't work in our for what we want. And there is no if. Still going through the process and assimilating the loss of one command. Maybe we can separate them the same way. I believe we need to put them in between these two. So this combination might work. Let me check. This is all correct. But the same way we had the wait for D2 in between the orbs, now both are waiting for me to flip the switch. Let's put this ahead. Now, this robot is ahead of the magenta. If I flip the orb, only the blue one will move forward. If I press this switch, they get together again. So let's flip the switch. Now the blue one is one step ahead. If we now flip the switch, magenta will move forward one position. Now they are both ready to cross the bridge when we snap the orb. If we do it once, we'll both move one position. The blue one will go to the go to command, we'll go to the button, and we go up with the lift. Magenta will move one position as well, but it will be kept on hold. So now we are in this level and we can command or release the second robot to go to the button and move forward. I like when things make sense. Unlike me. Primer. 2 more challenges. Primer, let's see what we have. Assessment. Assessment time. This is the end through this bridge. We get to this level by jumping with the jumping pad, which we get to by crossing this bridge, through this ramp, and this bridge. Okie dokie. And we have turn, because we are talking about laces. Wait for and if. We don't have nearest this time, and we have jump. Okay. First thing, we need to activate the bridge so we can cross. So we need this lazy to shoot down. Oh, and also this jumping pad is activated by this crate. Okay, so it's a little bit longer. First, we need laces to turn clockwise. So this one shoots left, this one shoots down. Now the problem is, good news is we have the bridge activated so we can cross, but this one is shooting the target that jumps the box to the button. We don't want that yet. So we'll make a condition that only the blue lazy can meet, which is if you are lasering Mija, you turn clockwise. You have 4 lines, it's not very much to work with. Now we cross the bridge. If we run this, you're lasering Mija. Hey, you're lasering Mija. Oh, you need to wait. What can you laser? A crate, Mija, or a target? We have 4 commands and we have 4 lines of code, so at some point you'll need to repeat what you're doing and you need a wait for. Wait. Just with this, you don't need to wait because you repeat. You go farther ahead. You go ahead the if, but because you are repeating, you will be constantly checking. There you go. So we don't need a wait. We can use a jump too. Now we've crossed, but if we cross here again, they'll keep turning clockwise, which will be same here. This is the same problem. We are not here yet. So maybe lasering Mija is not the solution. Let me make them wait for the orb, which is me commanding them, and if you are not lasering a target, and then you turn, but what happens if you do? If you do laser a target, then you'll get stuck. Wait, they can turn if they are lasering a target. Now they are not lasering targets, so wait for my orb. If I snap, they both turn until they don't laser a target. Will it work in the other direction? So they are not. This one will. This is not lasering a target, so we'll turn the other way. We'll shoot the other lazy, and we'll get stuck again because it's not lasering a target. This one will turn counterclockwise, shooting this laser, and again, because it is shooting a target, we'll skip the condition and we'll be shooting this way, to the left. Yes. So this is what happens. They shoot each other. This is the west, far west. Now they get stuck again, waiting for me snapping the orb. This solution will not allow me to cross the bridge, because when they shoot a target, they don't stop. They keep turning. So this is not good. What if you always wait for me and then you stop at targets? For that, what you will do is, if you are not lasering a target, keep turning. But always wait for me. If you are lasering a target, you don't do anything. You skip the turning. So this is not good either. I don't believe it's regarding targets. If you are not lasering a target, so if you are lasering a target, you keep turning. This is what we've done before. They don't stop at targets. If you are lasering a target, you wait. So if, in this case, if they are not lasering targets, they keep going. It's not good either. This one, we only need this laser to shoot this target. So we need this laser, this lazy, in one specific position at some point, which is when we snap the orb here, when we are on the jumping pad. So what if you turn when we snap the orb, when you are not lasering the target? And because you need to, I was thinking maybe the jump goes inside and some of them just need to do one action once, something like this. So if you, but this won't turn them until they are at one target, and this needs to shoot two, so it doesn't work. What about this? If you are not lasering a target, what does this do? They are not lasering a target, so they get inside, they wait for the orb, I snap the orb, and they turn clockwise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I mean this. So they keep, if they are lasering a target, they won't do anything. Lasering, not lasering, a crate. They can't laser crates, so it's pointless to look at that. It's either Mija or the target. What about Mija? If you are lasering Mija, get on hold. Put on hold. Otherwise, keep checking. They keep checking until they do laser Mija, and this is the opposite direction. This is counter. I believe this can work because they don't turn when they laser Mija. They turn when they laser Mija and I snap the orb. So I can put like a barrier. And also, I'll try this, but I suspect it's not going to work. And I think I have the solution for that. Just run. Okay, we can move. So they are not lasering Mija, they keep checking and checking and checking because of the jump too. Now this one is lasering Mija, so stop checking. Now it's on hold, waiting for the orb. We snap it, but we need it clockwise, so we can cross. Change this, clockwise. Clockwise, yes. My mistake. So the same, lasering Mija, now you're waiting for me to snap the orb and turn, and now to cross it will be put on hold again until we snap the orb. Alright, now we want both lasers to turn clockwise, but not when they laser Mija, it's when they laser Mija and we tell them to. So we need to cross both lasers. This one to shoot up, so the final bridge is active, and this one to activate the jumping pad and jumps the box onto the button. So we get in position, we can cross here, step in position. Now they are both waiting for Mija to snap the orb and turn once. And chain reaction. Hey. One more. Let's leave a last, or actually last. So we have a reason to come back after the credits. Maybe. Let me go back to the challenges in first area, because we left one when I leave one level finished. I call it lost level, and we do them at the end because I am seeing that we are getting to the end. It's only one more. Let me do this because it's easier and I already know the solution. This is last challenge for area 1. And there was something I didn't realize. Maybe I think the game tells you by now that you can do this, that I'm going to do, but at the time I didn't realize. That's why I left it unfinished. So let me do as if I think, I don't know if this is correct or not, I don't remember, but let me do it again, same as before. Assessment, this is the end. Through this ladder we go through this bridge, and then we need to move the box at some point, and we are there. We have 2 robots. They don't share the code this time. So the beginning is very simple. The ending is tricky. Roundy has 6 lines, which, for what I remember, doesn't seem like it needs that many. And this also, let me remove it, for Gravy, has 6 lines and seems like it's okay or not enough. So first, for Gravy to move and be able to do something, Roundy needs to come here. So Roundy, you go to A. We have go to and wait for. So the same way, Roundy around the Gravy waits for Roundy to go to A. So Gravy waits for A, and when A is active, you cross and pick up from E. you drop, then you don't need to wait, you drop the box at D. D activates this bridge for Roundy to go to this button and activate this bridge as well. At least for Mija. We'll see that it's not only for Mija, but at least for Mija. So now Roundy waits for D. The box is on top of the crate, activating D, and you wait for D. When D is active, the bridge is active and you can go. And you go to B. So far so good. Roundy is here, pressing this button, activating this bridge. Now, with Gravy in this position, is on top of the breakable bridge, but the bridge is not broken yet. So we have Gravy on top of it. We can still get the box back. So we wait for Roundy to go to B. Once B is on, Gravy picks up from nowhere because it doesn't have more room. So what can you say? Because you still have things to do. Wait for A, pick up at E, drop at D. Wait for D? Wait for B. Oh, I put the code for Roundy, I gave it to Gravy. Yes, you wait for D. And then you go to B. That's correct. Now you wait for Roundy at B, pick up back from D, and drop at C. That's all you do. But it's not the end for you. We'll see. This is the trick of this level. Now Roundy holds the key for Gravy. Gravy, who is at B, is pressing this button that activates this bridge. On top of this bridge is Gravy without the box because it has placed it on top of the scale. So Mija has room to go through A, through the point of interest where the box is now. The box is here now, so we can go. And we encounter Gravy on the way. Gravy is blocking the path for Mija to get to the end. This bridge is also active because the box is onto the scale. What we need is to remove Gravy out of the way. I'll show you. Too many steps, so I prefer to show you. This is everything we've been talking about. Now Gravy. This is my part. I was missing that part. I failed the team again. Now I step here, so Gravy can go through. And this is the end. This is as far as we've done. Roundy still has 3 more lines of code. It's like, why? I can move now, and I should be heading towards the end. But Gravy is blocking me. So, what I didn't realize is you can make Roundy step out of the button, breaking or deactivating the bridge, and making Gravy fall. So let's do that. We tell Roundy to go to wait for C. When Gravy has placed the crate onto C, C activates. So Roundy waits for C to be active and then goes to F, which seemed at the beginning, first time we were trying this level, seemed like it was here for nothing, but nothing is for nothing in this game. It's a very strange sentence. And the bridge deactivates, Gravy falls, but the problem is we need the bridge active, so we tell Gravy to go back to B. And that's 6 out of 6 for you. Let's see how different it is the second time. We can move now. Roundy has made Gravy fall and get out of our way. It's a bit sad, but it's necessary collateral damage. And this is the end. Finally, we got this dark bit from 2 months ago. Area 1's fully complete. We have the last challenge. We'll make honor to the name, so we'll leave it for last. And we go back to normal levels, this main path, which is press escape, and we are here. Also, I remember something I wanted to say regarding that infamous level. That during the game we found levels that had 2 solutions, but the solutions were like slight changes. Like, okay, it's more or less overall it's the same solution. You are making little tweaks that it's not changing much. But that infamous level, we've proven that some levels have more than one solution, meaning completely different solutions. Okay, let's continue. Let's see where this rabbit hole, which is not a hole and it's not for rabbits, leads. Go to the computer. We have 2 laces, we have 2 grabbies, and almost every line of code at our disposal. We need to end up here and activate it so we can jump forward to the chasm, to the emptiness. We do that by what? We need 2 blocks. No, we need 1 block here, and we need, because it has to be a block, and we need something. It doesn't necessarily have to be a block, but we need something pressing these 2 buttons, and that's it. It's 3 elements. So the level is symmetrical aside from the scale. So probably we cannot assign the same commands to both of them. 8 lines. And laces 3. With this one, I think it's more restrictive. Laser burn. With this one, we need 2 elements. The gel on the scale and the robot on the jumping pad, and laser activates the jumping pad, and then the robot jumps. This one is less restrictive. It can be the gel or it can be the bot who is here. And this gel cannot go to this scale. So because we need to keep both elements, maybe we turn the laces first, turn clockwise, wait for the orb, and then turn again, same direction, so you'll be shooting down, activating both jumping pads, so both gels are safe. For you need to go to your nearest position, pick up the gel from your nearest position, and you need to drop it, but only one can perform the action. And the nearest scale is the same for both, even though the distances are different because there's only one. How can we tell this grabby, magenta grabby, to leave the gel here? If holding, if not holding. Are you saying that one needs to be burned or melted? You cannot hold Miha, so it has to be aerogel. If you are holding an aerogel, drop it at C. There is no jump, so no repeating actions. We are using nearest, we are using if. I'm trying to find out the distinction for both, but it seems everything is the same for both. Closest button, closest point of interest, closest jumping pad, and closest scale. It's not the same, but in the way that it's the same in the way that it's symmetrical. Go to, pick up at, drop at, One of the two, which is the one on the right, has to melt the gel because it's the one that doesn't need it. Doesn't need the gel. And we have wait for the orb at some point. Can they not be in sync? Can laces? I don't think so. No. How can they get the aerogel burned? Let me try telling them to drop at C. Let's see what this one does. It breaks down. Laces are shooting away, lasering away so they don't damage or melt the aerogel. And we cannot get this back. We cannot retrieve it because we have the orb in our hands. We cannot have more than one object. We cannot hold more than one object. Apparently it has to do with the scale. If your nearest scale, this is going to be the same, but create path. Instead of C, let's call it D2. I believe it's the same. It is the same. But you, in trying to go to the scale, you crossed the jumping path. You don't. So what if you block yourself? What if you don't think that we need to call it D2 because we'll be using two lines of code to say the same, which is C. It's not different for both of them. C is C for both. So we don't need to call it D delta 2 or D2. We'll call it simply C. Let's leave this for later. You pick up at your closest and you drop the gel at your closest jumping pad. We need that. Delta 2 is nearest air bump. I call everything in the game so many different names that I can even myself can't keep up. Jumping pad, cushion, air bump, jumper, and many more that I don't even remember. Pick up at your closest point of interest, drop at your closest jumping pad. Now both left the block on the air bump. If now we tell them to go to C, they cannot go to C, but they can drop at C because they cannot physically take the place or be on top of C. Drop at C is the same. It does the same as the purpose I want them to do. Drop at C does what I want them to do, and the result is the same. Let's check up until here and we'll see the difference, I believe. They get the block, leave it on the jumping pad. This one gets blocked. Now the blue one breaks down. This one now still active can retrieve the aerogel and place it on the scale. See if we have. Now my worry is that we don't have. Now we made the distinction. My worry is that we don't have enough lines remaining. If they wait for me to snap the orb after this, it means blue is broken, magenta is waiting. Then you pick up at F. I'm not confident. You pick up at F and you drop at C again. Now we are missing one line. We need one more line to tell the bot, the magenta one who has left the gel at C, to go to F. let me change this. Doesn't change much, but slightly. Let's see how far it gets. Oh, now I see. Having the lasers up is different. Now one has the gel, the other one doesn't. The problem is that they have it the opposite way. We need the gel on the left, not on the right. Let's see it again. Because this one moves down, the laser keeps shooting the aerogel, but this one moves to the left. What do they do? Nearest point of interest? Nearest jumping pad. Because we are telling them to drop at nearest jumping pad. Almost, we got close, but still not there. You move vertically to put the gel here, but you don't. You move horizontally. Pick up at closest position, drop at closest pad. Air bump. There's a conflict here. Maybe 2 drops. The idea of making this one break down, it was good, but not good enough. If we had 9 lines, it would work. We need to melt one. How do we melt one? Because if we move them, if we move one, we move the other one. The key is in these 2 elements, that they are different for each side, so they behave different. Can we leave the orb on the scale? We are missing both of these ones on this side. So we are not dropping the gel onto ditch. And I believe we are not making them turn at the beginning. We need them shoot up. So one of the two gels melt, but it's melting the incorrect one. Will I get stuck again in the main level? Because we cannot leave the gels on the air bump and then jump them with the lasers. Because in this case, the gel doesn't go onto the button, it goes onto the scale. So this one needs to be saved. This one needs to be melted. What if, because everything in here is not working, drop a D2. I'm curious why you go vertical and you go horizontal. Curious to know why. There's nothing in between both of them. They're just the symmetry. Why they behave different? Because let me try. We are here to try and investigate and test. Put the game to the test. Pick up a D1 and then drop a D2. That's correct. But in between, let me try this. Let's see if it's same or different for them before you go to D2. What will both of you do if you are standing on the place where you need to drop the gel? What do you do? Both lose it. And yeah, this way, both lose it. What do? You go and come back. Oh, but you go and get away. It's like they behave the same, but they are not considering that the level is the symmetry. So this one goes down and to the right, and this one goes down, but because cannot go to the right, it has to go to the left. Gives priority to go to the left first, which is not convenient. And I would also feel disappointed if having the symmetrical level, they behave different, and this is the solution. That would be like the solution for this level is encoded within the game. They made the game and they told the robots to take priority on some movements, not the other, not on other, and trying to find out that, it would be not good. What if, let's keep trying. Without the gel, pick up a D1, drop a D2, and then again, pick it up back from D1 and drop it at D1. Pick up at D2. My bad. Pick up from the position, drop it on the air bump, pick it up again from the air bump, but because you might be standing on the position, leave it back where it was. Again, this one dies. This gel melts. The aerogel died. I'm very concerned about the feelings and emotions that the aerogel went through. Take it, it's melt, and what do? Take it and move away. So you work horizontally. You take it, move horizontal, leave it, take it, leave it. But you work vertically. You take it and then move, and you no longer have it. Pick up from D1, drop at D2. Instead of moving horizontally as well, they cannot swap positions. And if we are using if, we're using way too many commands here. We don't have room for wait, and we don't have nothing to put on if. I like breaking this one down better. Maybe this is harder than the last challenge. Let me try something. Don't think it'll work, but pick up a D1, drop a D2. If you are holding... No, sorry. And go to D2. You will go with the gel. You will go without the gel. Now that you are in position, both laces turn 180, activating the air bumps. We have 2 grabbies on the 2 buttons. Is this correct? Oh, now it works vertically. Why is this different now? Because before it was drop at. I don't understand. Hope it's not a glitch. If I go back to drop at D2, they still behave as before. But if they go to, both of them lose it. Forget about the gel and go to D2. I want to see what happens when they jump. I think they break. So go to D2, wait for J, and then go to I, for example. Just a test. To go to I, they try to go back. What if I say H? They can't jump. They don't fall and break, they just can't perform the action. If not holding, and if holding. Aerogel and Mija. Let me go back to the other combination when this one breaks down. Maybe I haven't finished with that option. Pick up from 1, drop at 2, go to... No. Drop at C. And very deep into the C. And then if you... Well, there's only one robot. Pick up at D1. Drop at 2. Let me try something different. Nearest button. The 3 is your nearest button. What if you drop at 3? What do you do? You can't and you break. Okay, back to 2. And we don't need this. So that we need to change this to keep the aerogel on the left. Now we need to take this and put it here and bring the robot back. And we have 3 lines. Pick up, leave, drop at C. When you have dropped at C, pick up from C, drop at F. Now what am I doing? This is the opposite. It's pick up from F. I got it swapped. Pick up at F and drop at C and go to F. This works. The blue one, no, they are, all elements are in position. This gel is on top of the air bump, waiting for the target to be active. This one is on the jumping pad. This one's on the air bump. If I get here, I get in position. If I snap the orb, lasers shoot down, everything works. Let me take a screenshot. Let me take a selfie. Let me take a screenshot of the solution because I don't want to spend time rethinking this when we already found out. Now we have a solution. Let me just, for completely being sure, I'll snap the orb without Mija on the last air bump. Yes, it works. So my curiosity tells me to go here and do the same. Hint. I would like to know if this is the official solution now. Now I'm wondering, I'm unsure. Code order. Hey, it's different. It's different again. I don't know if I am an idiot or very intelligent, but my solutions are not the official solutions. Let's try to solve this one. It's like a mystery game now. Wait for the gravits, and this for the laser. This is, I think it's very clear. This is wait for the orb and then turn twice in the same direction. And you both wait for, since lasers don't do anything, don't interact with anything until the end with the targets, you cannot wait for anything. I don't see this. Wait for something. It cannot be A, it cannot be B, it cannot be C, it cannot be J or K, so it has to be the orb. Today I'm discovering a new game. And then your nearest something. What can it be? That it's relevant to the timing? Air bump is always the same. The closest to you is always the same. Target closest to you is always the same. Great pad, there's only one, so it's always the same. Button is always the same. Position is always the same. Let's play along the position. You need to pick up the gel from somewhere, so you need D1 and pick up from D1. Maybe it's just necessary, but wait for the beginning. When they are not doing anything. It's like wait for the laser to move away so that you can pick up the block. Pick up at D1 and then wait for, again, wait for something. Because the lasers are moving, you wait for any of the targets. Maybe there's something in here? You might wait for C, maybe? Wait for C? So you wait for the orb. If you are holding... No, now it's when it comes. If you... C. If you are holding a gel, drop it at C. I don't understand this. And then you recheck that D1 is something different? Why do you... No, it has to do with going to somewhere, which it can only be... Oh, it makes sense that it's the air bump. What is this? Lasers are waiting for C. Gravis are waiting for the orb. But they didn't do anything because they are waiting for J. Because I make them wait for the orb in the beginning. Obviously not. So they don't wait for J. Pick up a D1. Snap the orb again. I can't see what the developers or the puzzle designer meant with this combination, what they wanted the player to do. This is pick up from the position. This is D2 is the closest air bump because the last one has to go to the air bump. So D2. I'm thrown away by the weights. I'm not seeing those. And this seems pretty clear. If you are holding, which applies to this one, you should be holding the aerogel because none of them can hold Mecha. You drop it at C and then go to the nearest air bump. It's the only thing that you need to interact with, not the buttons, not anything else. Can be nearest aerogel? No. It wouldn't make sense either. When you lift the aerogel, you are not interrupting the laser to anything else. I will have to look it up somewhere because I can't seem to find this. Not this, but the whole thing. And I'll have my solution back. Where are you? So my solution was D1 is nearest, D2 is nearest air bump. Pick up a D1, drop. We can get rid of this. And again, my solution is not using all commands available. I'm not using the if, and I'm not using the wait. And the game has showed us before that we can break down certain robots on purpose for our interest. This is one example. Drop at D2, drop at C to make them move to C, pick up at F, drop at C, now for real, and go to F. I'm copying my own solution. Copying myself. This is my level of cheating. I'm copying myself. And... oh, I'm missing this? No. Now. Hey, apparently one more. We can cross safely. We aren't interacting yet. Now we are in the computer. We have 3 laces. 3 laces. This is the end. Apparently, by this ramp and this bridge. We have turn. Wait for a nearest. Okay. Okay, this nearest is gonna be fun because the nearest is different. We don't have if. So if it's nearest something, it's going to be nearest target maybe. And 4 lines. At the beginning, and we have the orb because it's the main level. We are carrying it all the way. You wait for me. Wait for me to snap the orb and then you act. You need to wait because I need to cross through here first and get in position. And then you turn clockwise one, but not all of you. If you all turn, or maybe it's not you turning this way, it's this one turning this way. So you turn the opposite way. Counterclockwise, it's you who activates the target. You are just here to activate the bridge. So we cross, step onto the air bump, snap the orb. We don't need two, we just need this one. Counter. Orange, lazy, will shoot this target and will jump us here. But all of them will be lasering to the right, which is not right. We have one remaining. Why are we using the nearest if there's no if to compare to? Oh, wait for your nearest. So they react in chain. Once we cross the laser, your closest activates, and then you turn clockwise. Will we be able to get onto the air bump? Maybe we need another wait for the orb, I believe. So we put them on hold and we snap them every time we want, one by one. And they all need to turn clockwise. Let me try this. I'm quite confident. They all three are on hold waiting for D1. When we cross this laser, this one will activate. We are separating D1 from the other two, from the pack. We safely get to position. By snapping the orb, we are telling the blue one to turn. By doing so, two things happen. Blue lazy shoots to the left, activating the target and jumps Mija. The second thing is that the closest target to magenta lazy will activate. So we'll go one step ahead. Two ahead from the orange. Let's see it in action. We move into position again, and now the magenta is one step ahead from the orange. When we snap the orb again, same as with the blue one, magenta turns, jumps Mija, and the closest target to the orange will activate. Now this is waiting for Mija to snap the orb. Yay! Hoshi, come in, Mija. Are you there, Mija? If you are there, we are unable to reach you past this point. I think I'm feeling sad about it. Maybe just slight confusion? Must be the electromagnetic force from the star formation. Or could just be us. Mija, you must take a leap of faith. I've been jumping with a lot of faith to get to this point. I don't think you need to remind me. Itri, you got this, Mija. Trust yourself. It's like, don't trust us, trust yourself. We don't want to know anything. Trust your intuition. Not us, we are all liars. I'm leaving the orb here. Ooh. Are we going to space? No, because we already are. Oh, it's gonna get windy. Oh, we need to interact with the game. My accessory! Where are you going, mija? Leap of faith. Developers played too much Assassin's Creed. PowerPoint is like in Australia. I love it. Mija, do you know what you're doing? Activate the star pult. Oh, baby's released. Oh, a new star has born. I'm even kind of sad that it's over, aside from the remaining challenge. South America. Wink wink. A new star has born? But what about the planets? Maybe in the sequel we terraform a planet or something. Thank you for making the game. So now what do you have to say? Believe in yourself? Huh. It's funny how things unravel. You never know fully how you will affect everything and everyone around you and after you. What seems like a tiny task, an everyday job, can evolve into more than you can grasp. We cannot predict the future, but we are most certainly a part of building it. You've done an exceptional job, mija. We are so happy to have you in our orbit. Seems like developers talking to the player. Mija, did you see the star trajectory data? This star shot farther than any before. I wonder what that fiery ball will become. Onslow, what do you have to say in your defense? I never thought to check if the starport was plugged in. Should probably figure out some way to make that an easy fix. Noted. Duly noted. In the end, it was as simple as plug it in, plug and play. When they say, "Are you sure the device it's on? It's not you. It's not broken. Are you sure it's turned on?" That's what they mean. Starling, how about a celebratory outfit change? Take your pick. Celebratory outfit change. We have 140, I think it was required for the last. Hey. Star Staff 2, now in Hogwarts. I want my headphones back. They were blown away by the wind. But wait a sec. These are black and these are red. They tricked me in the shop. And this is the one you get for finishing the game. Mija, you are too bright. Let's get black. Let's get serious. Last challenge. And this is the one you get, I believe, when you complete all challenges, for which we have one remaining. So we are going to do that now. Now the real challenge. Taxi has left. My nemesis, where are you? Challenge and summit. So this is supposed to be the hardest, unless I mess up with the difficulty. Let's go to the computer. We have one rogue lazy, which comes already programmed by default. Wait for M, which is a target. Yes. So we need to interrupt this target. And then you will turn twice clockwise, which is this way. Okay. And then wait for D, which is this scale, and then turn twice back. Mija's path in reverse is N by jumping, and we get to this level by jumping from here and to here, from here and to here, from here. So we need to come here. Okay, alright, we don't have to do much, but we need to bring an aerogel with us. We need to take one at some point. Oh, they have points of interest. Interesting, and everything is here in 7 lines. We need to get one and come here. To activate this jumping pad, we need one grabby to go. So they wait for me to get in position, isn't it? Wait for... Oh, we don't have the orb. So what do they wait for? M? Could be M. Wait for M. They need to know which is their closest position and their closest button, which will always be the same. It doesn't change. What changes is the closest air bump, but they don't mess up with air bumps, grabbies. Now we have 3 out of 7. We have 4 more available. I believe we need to place them and take one, so one doesn't have an aerogel. They know their point of interest, they know their buttons, they wait for M to do something, which is, let's say, go step by step, simple, go to the closest button, which is D2. And then we should be here. Let's not do more than what we need to. So if we interrupt this laser, we need to go to the air bump. We have time. At least we have time to get to the air bump. Okay, something else needs to happen. There are 2 more grabbies. After going to D2, oh wait, maybe, let's reset. We give them aerogels to 2 of them, because the 3rd one is for us. The question is, which one? Before going to D2, you're going to pick up from D1, and you get an aerogel if there is one. If there is one. And then, if you are holding, I think now it comes the condition. If you are holding, then you do different. Because the laser comes from this side, it will melt one gel before the other one. So, if you are not holding, an aerogel, you go to your your nearest button, which is D2. Now we are using 7. It is complex. It is complex. And a lot of combinations. I take one. I leave this one without. Wait for M. Pick up a D1. Only 2 of them. This one maybe melts. I believe it's like this. And let me reset and do something else. I need to remove one line of code. I believe it's this one. You don't need to wait because I need a jump back. And they get into this loop that they are not doing what is set here until they are not holding an aerogel. And because they will lose it sequentially, they will step onto the buttons sequentially. That's my point. Oh, we are repeating the go to D2, so we don't need that. And then they can wait for M. Pick up a D1 and wait. Once, I think this is it. Let me review it. You check your closest point to pick up and your closest button. This is where you go from and where you go to. You, without waiting for me, at the start, you pick up an aerogel. If there is one, only 2 of them will find one, which is blue and orange. Middle one will not have an aerogel. Mija will have it. And then, after we interrupt the laser, we get into the air bump. Why does the air bump activate? Because this robot is the only one without an aerogel. So it's the first one to accomplish this command. If you are not holding an aerogel, you go to the button, which is this one. Mija will jump here. Second button is this one, because it's connected to the second air bump. But the second robot to come will be this one, because it's the closest to the laser. And it will be the next one to lose the aerogel. Once it melts, goes to the button, Mija jumps here. And the third one in the same way will be this one, loses the gel and comes here. And Mija and the aerogel jump here. That's the end. Let's put it to practice. We need to give one to you. Oh, but we need to set this up first. So this is correct. How they are waiting for us to set up the stage. Now we interrupt the laser. And sequentially, they work as intended. Now, Rogue Lazy is waiting for Mija to put the gel onto the scale. Once we do that, we step onto the air bump and we are here. And we have 100% completed. Let me go to the main hub by pressing escape and confirm that we have all the dice. We don't have a new one. Still locked. Rainbow Chrome Sparkly Gas. So it's hidden in the level. So we haven't completely completed the game. We got this when we did the 50% challenges. I thought we were going to get this one when we do 100% of the challenges. So I don't know. But we've completed all the levels. And we've seen the credits, we finished the game, yay. The only thing is like still on the back of my mind is that level. I think it was one of these Starburst. This one. What's this one? Yes. So this was our solution, but not the official solution. If you ask for a hint and ask for the order of the code, it gives you this. I still can't have my head around it. What goes in these boxes? Wait for. And this, what can this be? If it's not the orb, it can only be C. Wait for C. And turn twice. Let's try counter, but just to make, for the sake of making it different. Not because I think there is an actual difference. Wait for, this is for grabbies. Laser burn. Wait for, if they wait for the orb, that means they wait for Mija. Does Mija have to do something? Oh, I just saw it. I just realized. Now I just realized. Mija can do something. Wait for Mija. Now I know the solution. Wait for Mija. Or C. I think it's C. Doesn't matter much, but this, I figured out this. I can interfere with the laser because Mija is holding the orb, and the orb is like a crate, so it can block this one. So you wait for Mija to interrupt this laser that saves the aerogel, and then check for your nearest point of interest position and pick up from there, and then you lose it, you'll keep it, and then wait again for me to tell you to move on. If you are still holding the gel, which is you will drop it onto C, and then the lasers move back, and then you go check for your nearest air bump and you go there. This solution is more elegant because it uses all commands that you are given. At least, yes, it uses all. Pick up, drop, and go to. But even if it wasn't using all green ones, it's okay, but it uses the yellow and the 2 white ones. It's more elegant also because you are saving the robot. You are not breaking down this robot. My solution goes with my personality. I'm a bit more of a mess. So let's put it to test. Now we have to go here and interrupt the laser. Now you've lost it. You've lost your mind. At least your gel. Now move on. Do your thing, each one. Everything is in position. Oh, but I needed to move as well. Try again. Okay, now I can move and tell you to move as well. Brilliant. Brilliant. I loved it. Now I'm 100% happy. Even though we don't have the last die, I'm 100% happy. Well, I didn't think I was going to be able to find out that solution, but it was the orb, Mija. The orb. You had the key in your hands. Key to the level. And this is the end. Oh, star stuff is done. Now I feel emptiness. Now when I go back to work on next Tuesday for next stream, I'll feel the hole in my heart. Now I'm not doing long reviews anymore. At least I'm doing the short version, which is 1 minute, with a final score. So wait for my future review of Star Stuff, and let's talk about what the final score could be. I'll do my review and I'll post it, and it will be published, but in the meantime, you know how it goes. I gave a score. It's not a number out of 10, it's something, could be anything. that describes what I felt while playing the game, or something that I can compare it to, and that would be my final score. Let me know yours. Now, what do you feel about this game? As usual, I want to thank you for sharing your time with me, watching me get my madness increased playing the final levels of Star Stuff. I hope to see you next time, and until then, bye bye now.